Ever wonder how soldiers sent secret messages before computers and the internet? How did they keep vital information from falling into enemy hands long before digital encryption? Armies relied on incredible ingenuity to code their communications. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of early military ciphers. From ancient Rome to the complex machines of World War II, it all started simply. One of the earliest known military ciphers was used by none other than Julius Caesar. The Caesar cipher is a basic substitution cipher. You just shift each letter of your message a certain number of places down the alphabet. For example, with a shift of 3, A becomes D, B becomes E, and so on. If you reach the end of the alphabet, you just wrap around. So, the word attack becomes DWWDFN. Simple, right? To an outsider, it's gibberish. But if your recipient knows the key in this case, the number 3, they can just shift the letters back to reveal the original message. For its time, it was effective enough, but as you can imagine, it's not very secure by modern standards. There are only 25 possible keys to try, something even an ancient cryptanalyst could crack with a bit of time. To make things more secure, ciphers evolved. The Wegener cipher, invented in the 16th century, was a major leap forward. It's similar to the Caesar cipher, but instead of using a single shift for the entire message, it uses a keyword. Each letter of the keyword determines the shift for the corresponding letter in the plaintext. Let's say our message is send reinforcements and our keyword is war. We repeat the keyword over the message, war. For the first letter S, we use the shift from W. For E, we use the shift from A. For N, we use the shift from R, and so on. This method is much stronger because the same letter in the plaintext can be encrypted into different letters in the ciphertext, which thwarts simple frequency analysis, the technique of guessing letters based on how often they appear in a language. For centuries, the Wegener cipher was considered unbreakable, earning it the nickname Le chiffrage indéchiffrable, or the indecipherable cipher. But as technology advanced, so did the need for even stronger encryption, especially with the invention of the telegraph and radio. Messages could now be sent instantly over long distances, but they could also be intercepted by anyone with a receiver. This brings us to the First World War. Armies on all sides were sending thousands of messages daily, and keeping them secret was a matter of life and death. One famous example was the Zimmermann telegram. In 1917, German Foreign Secretary Arthur Zimmermann sent a coded message to Mexico, proposing a military alliance against the United States. British intelligence intercepted and decrypted it. The contents of this telegram were so explosive that they helped push the United States into the war, changing the course of history. The cipher they used was complex for its time, but ultimately, it was broken. This constant cat-and-mouse game between codemakers and codebreakers set the stage for the ultimate encryption battleground, World War II. The sheer scale and speed of the conflict demanded faster and more complex methods of encryption. This is where mechanical and electromechanical cipher machines entered the scene. And the most famous, or infamous, of them all was the German Enigma machine. The Enigma looked like a typewriter, but it was a beast of cryptographic complexity. When an operator pressed a key, an electrical signal would travel through a series of rotating wheels, or rotors, and a plugboard before lighting up a letter on a lamboard. This lit-up letter was the encrypted character. The brilliance of the Enigma was that with every single key press, the rotors would turn, changing the entire electrical pathway. This meant that if you typed it twice, you would get two different encrypted letters. The number of possible starting positions for the rotors and the plugboard connections was astronomical. We were talking about millions upon millions of combinations. The Germans believed it was absolutely unbreakable. Every day, the settings for the rotors and plugboard were changed according to a secret key list, so even if you captured an Enigma machine, it would be useless without the daily key. Breaking Enigma became one of the top priorities for the Allied forces. At a secret location in Britain called Bletchley Park, a team of brilliant minds, including the legendary Alan Turing, worked tirelessly to crack the code. They weren't just guessing. They built a massive electromechanical machine called the bomb. The bomb was designed to rapidly test thousands of possible Enigma settings each day. By exploiting certain weaknesses in how the Germans used Enigma, like never encrypting a letter as itself, and using predictable message formats, the codebreakers at Bletchley Park were able to find the daily keys. The intelligence gathered from these decrypted messages, codenamed Ultra, gave the Allies an unprecedented advantage. It helped them anticipate U-boat movements in the Atlantic, prepare for enemy attacks, and make crucial strategic decisions. Historians estimate that breaking Enigma shortened the war by at least 2 years and saved countless lives. Of course, the Germans weren't the only ones with sophisticated cipher machines. The Japanese used a machine codenamed Purple by the Americans for their most sensitive diplomatic communications. Like Enigma, it was an electromechanical marvel. And, like Enigma, American cryptanalysts, led by the brilliant William Friedman, managed to break it. They built a replica of the Purple machine without ever having seen one, based purely on intercepted messages. This allowed the U.S. to read Japan's diplomatic cables in the lead-up to the attack on Pearl Harbor. On the Allied side, the Americans developed their own secure systems. One of the most fascinating and effective was the use of Navajo code talkers. The U.S. Marine Corps recruited Navajo men to transmit tactical messages. They used their native language, which is incredibly complex and has no written form. On top of that, they developed a special code within their language, using Navajo words for military terms. For example, potato might mean grenade, and ironfish might mean submarine. This system was never broken. It was fast, secure, and had the huge advantage of being a human-based cipher, not a mechanical one that could be captured or reverse-engineered. The code talkers played a vital role in the Pacific theater, especially in battles like Iwo Jima. These early forms of encryption laid the groundwork for the digital cryptography we rely on today. The fundamental principles substitution, transposition, and the use of keys are still at the heart of how we protect our emails, bank details, and online privacy. The story of military encryption is a testament to human ingenuity, a silent war of wits fought in the shadows, where a single broken code could change the world. It reminds us that for as long as we've had secrets, we've been finding clever ways to protect them. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this journey into the world of secret codes as fascinating as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into history and technology. Let me know in the comments which cipher you think was the most ingenious. See you in the next video.